Hello and welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at this assembly. We have three components. We have the base, we got some sort of pin holder, and the pin. So I'll put up the dimensions in the screen so you can follow along. So the first component that we're going to be making is the V block. So let's begin. So let's create a new drawing, new part. So the units are in millimeters, so let's go to settings, document properties, units, and let's change that to millimeters. So there are a few ways that you can do the V-block. So let's start with the front plane and let's create a sketch. Let's draw the overall dimensions as you can see on the dimensions provided. This is 60 by 60, so we have 60 and 60 as well for the height. So now we can start from the top. We can kind of replicate um, what's being shown, and then we can provide dimensions at the end. So there are a few ways that you can do this, but this is just one way. We can provide dimension here. So this is 10 millimeters. Same thing on the other side. So we have an angle here, 50 degrees, as you can see on the sketch. And the other component that we have to dimension is this one here. This is 20, looking at the sketch provided. Okay, so we have more or less the top section. So let's do now the cuts on the side. So let's draw a center line so I know where the center line is, center of the object. I'm going to select the corner rectangle and just draw a rectangle right there. So this is 6 millimeters, and that distance right there is 6, and the overall dimension is 12. Um, Same thing on the other side. So you can either mirror this or just do it one more time. Let's do it one more time so you can practice a little bit more. So now let's dimension. So this is 6. This dimension is 12. And the dimension from the center line to the edge is 6. So we have the those two cutouts on the side completed. Next, we can work on the bottom, and for this time, we're going to mirror um, the sketch that we just made on top. So let's select that and mirror entities. We see that we have lines 7, 8, and 9 selected, which are these three, and then mirror about the center line that we just created, and hit OK. Um, and that's pretty much the sketch. So now we need to, in order to make the extrusion, we need to make some trims. So let's go now to trim entities, and we're just going to select the lines that we want to trim. So just select the lines, this one as well, and we also need the bottom. I think there is one line here. So yeah, make sure you trim all the perimeter lines. So after you're happy with the sketch, you can hit OK and OK one more time. So now we're ready for the extrusion. So let's go to the extruded boss base. And then from here, you can either select blind, up to body. I'm going to select mid plane, and the depth, looking at the sketch, this is 140 millimeters. So you put that there, just hit OK. And we have created the B block, and we're going to save it. You can save it as B block. And additionally, you can give it some appearance. You can select a color here. Let's see, let's pick that one. Let's hit OK and save it one more time. So now, let me bring the sketch. So now let's work on the on this kind of the pin holder right here. So I'll put up the dimensions on the screen so you can follow along. So similar steps. Let's create a new drawing, new part. Let's go to settings, document properties, units, and change it to millimeters. And let's hit OK. So the first thing we have to do is let's go to front plane, then sketch. Let's make some center lines, and let's do infinite length, and let's do first vertical. Let's hit OK. Now we can do the horizontal. So these lines are going to help me with the mirroring of the components later on. Okay, so let's start with the circle. So looking at the sketch, there is a radius 24 uh, circle. So start with that one first. And there is another one about 72. This is 36 radius, so 72 diameter. So we can dimension this. So this is 48, and the next one is 72. Top part, let's do just select a rectangle and draw a rectangle, and let's provide dimensions. So this is 24. Looking at the sketch, 24, and the distance. So this is center on. So this is where it comes handy, center line. So now from the top to the center of the circle, this is 44. If you look at the sketch, there is a distance of 44 from the top to the center, because we have 80 minus 36, so 44. Okay, so from here we can do some trimming before we continue to the bottom section. So we can either do a line right here, and let's select trim. We're going to trim all the lines that we don't need. Check this one here, and also this one as well, and the bottom portion of the circles as well. So we're only keeping the ones that we need. Um, that looks fine to me right now. So now let's work on the bottom. Let's draw some approximate dimensions, approximate lines. So we're going to provide dimensions later. So this looks like something like this. So we know that this dimension here, looking at the sketch, this is 10. So we know that's 10. And the overall height is 36. That's 36. And this dimension right here is 12. This is 12. Okay. We have an overall dimension right here of 16. So this is 16 according to the sketch. And now we need to position this on the right location. So the distance from that edge to the center of the component is 30. And now we can trim. So we don't need this. You can zoom in, and we don't need these lines right here. So now we can use the mirror command to, let's try to mirror this right side to the left so we can complete the part. So we're going to select the lines that we created. So select one by one. And there is one more right here. So after you select all the lines, we can hit the mirror about this line right here, and let's hit OK. So from here, we can trim one more time. So after you're happy with that, we can just close the drawing and let's provide some extrusion here. And the looking at the sketch, this is supposed to be uh, 20 millimeters in depth. So select midplane, and then right here we can select 20. Let's hit OK. Actually, we need to select the part and then hit OK. Let's provide some color here. We can make this, let's make it red. Like that. Let's hit OK. And we can save this as the, save it. We can just name this pin holder and hit save. So lastly, we need to make the pin. And so let's jump straight over. So new part, let's go to settings, just make sure that we have the correct units, millimeters. Let's hit OK. For this pin, we're going to select the front plane, sketch. Let's do some center lines. Let's do first. Let me do the vertical, and then hit OK. Then right from the same command, let's do the horizontal and hit OK. So the approach for this pin will be to use the revolve command. So let me show you how that's done. So we're going to try to make this as close as possible. So let's provide some dimensions. So looking at the sketch, so this is 20. This dimension right here, this is 12. And then from here to here, we're just taking half of the diameter because we're going to revolve later. And the overall height, this is 100. So after you do this section of the pin, we can just hit OK. And let's use the revolve. Uh, so the axis of revolution will be the vertical line that we created. Select that. Make sure you have a blind and 360 degree here selected and hit OK. there is a hole, 5 millimeter hole on the top section. So let's select the front plane and let's do a sketch. So from here, let's do a circle, and this is 5 millimeters, and the distance from the center to the top is 10 millimeters. Now let's hit OK. Now we're going to make a cut, extrude a cut, and right here we can do through all both. So that means through all on both sides. And let's hit OK. We got the pin created, and let's provide it with a nice color. Let's make it green. Let's hit OK. And we can save it. We can just say this and so now we're ready to move on the assembly. So here's the assembly. So um, I'll put up the reference on the screen so you can follow along as well for this. So same thing, let's create a new, instead of part, we're going to select assembly. Let's hit OK. Make sure the units are in millimeters. So document properties, units, and select millimeters. And let's hit OK. So from here, we have an insert component command. So let's click on that. And we have the part that we just created right here on the history. If you don't see them here, you can always browse and search for your components. So let's start with the V block, which will be like the fixed component, the base. So without clicking on the drawing area, assembly area, we are just gonna hit OK right here. So this component, since it's the first one, it will be automatically fixed, as you can see here by the letter F. So that means it is fixed. So if you try to move it, drag it, it's not gonna let you um, do that operation. Next, we have the pin holder, and let's hit OK. So looking at the sketch, so we're going to use this face right here. So select that face, and holding Control, select the face, the top face of the B block, because that's how it's going to be assembled. And we're going to select coincident. Okay. Now let's select this face right here, and that will be coincident with that as well. The part can only move on the z-axis, right? And so let's say you want to provide a fixed distance from this face to that face. We can follow a same procedure. Select this face and select that face, holding the Control key. And instead of doing coincident, let's do distance right here. Select this option right here, distance. And we can make this 50. So, and then hit OK. So that means the distance from here to here is set to 50. And if you want to drag it, you can't do that anymore. So now let's bring the last component, which is the pin. So if you notice something here, so the pin has to be embedded on this part right here. So right now there is no hole. So let's say you didn't make the hole when doing the part, you can always do it here in the assembly. So select the part, and you can right click, and you can do edit part. Let's save it first. assembly, let's hit OK. And then now this part is ready to be edited. So we can click on that and do a sketch, select circle, and let's provide some dimensions. And this is looking at the sketch. This is supposed to be 12. Let's hit OK. So from here we can do the, let's go to features and select the extrusion command. And let's do a up to surface, and then you can just select the surface, which is the bottom, and let's hit OK. So after you modify the component, you can hit OK one more time, and the part has been modified on both, on the assembly and on the individual part that you created before. So now let's assemble this together. Let's select the pin, and holding the control key, let's select the inside hole that we just created. And we're going to make this concentric, and let's hit OK. So you can see the part can move up and down. Um, so let's say you want to provide a fixed dimension from the top to this face of the block. So we'll do the same thing. Select the top face and hold the control key, select that face as well. And let's go to distance, and we can make this 100. So that means the pin cannot move anymore, and because we have a fixed distance now of 100. And I think this is it. I hope you enjoy and learn a few things with this modeling and assembly tutorial. And thank you for watching.